Now I also might have a graphic here. Not sure what yet, and I also have the opportunity to put an infographic. So lots of opportunities here. Let's grab the pen tool. And this is going to be on background graphics. So my text is on one, background graphics on another, and my inspiration text, or inspiration picture. Now I'm going to look at this inspiration thing again. Okay, so they start in the graphic, or behind this graphic, and they draw a line, and they lead your eye to something important, and then down through. Oh, by the way, it also cradles this type, which you would read. And then your eye kind of would flow a little bit over here, but then it circles here. So let's see if we can do something similar to that. And again, I want to be in the background graphics. So I don't know what I'm putting up here yet. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I just start with the typography. Now, I do not want a fill color, and my stroke color needs to be the red, maroon, however you want to put it. So let's say I'm going to use the baseline of this type. Maybe I need to bring a guide down to the baseline of that type. And that's going to be my starting point for this line, just to get a visual path going. So I'm clicking in the J just to get it going. I'm going to hit Command 0. On a PC it would be Control 0. And I will turn my inspiration layer on so I can kind of see what they're up to. So they came down around here, which I would have to have a graphic, something interesting. Then they came down and around some copy here. So, you know, that's not relevant to what we're doing. We're just looking at the graphic. Okay, so we started here. I want them to read through my profile, down through my my experience rather. At some point, I'm going to have it come through. Let's see. Let me hit Command Z. I'm going to have it kind of turn at the experience. Okay. Something's going to be over here, not sure what. They're going to go through the experience. Then probably have an infographic or something here, or not, I don't know yet. But I like the loop-de-loop, so maybe we'll do this. I might do the loop-de. Let's see, how was that loop-de? I think it went like this. Shoot, let me try to remember. Hit Command Z so I can undo stuff. Let's see, it was like a loop like this. And then it came down. And let's let it bleed off the page. Now, this was going to be a dashed line. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. And let's take a look at that. Now, that's pretty noisy and pretty annoying. Plus, I got a real wonky thing here. So I'm going to grab the white arrow tool, which is also called the direct selection tool. And I can adjust my anchor point handles. And I'm trying to smooth some stuff out a little bit. Oops, went into the graphic over there. Okay, so smoothing some anchor points out. Trying to find them. May have to zoom in, may have to turn the text off for just a second. Oh, that green line is hard to see, so I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to make this, we'll make it teal. There we go. Now we can see those anchor points a little bit better. So you do have the option of being able to change the layer color if the color is too light to mess with. Okay, so that's a nice directional. Put my text back on, click off of it, and it interferes with the text. So I'm going to lighten it a little bit. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to screen it back quite a bit. But this is still a nice directional to get people's eye to move through something. Now, what to go here? Excuse me, got the wrong thing. Now, could I put education there and kind of circle it? Well, I could, but it's going to kind of make the layout a little wonky. Oops, I do see a problem here. 2010 to present. May have to widen this just a smidge. Oh, hate having to break the grid a lot, but it's just part of it. Let's see here. Really change that. You know, the grid is just, you don't have to stick to it religiously. It's there to kind of help organize the chaos, so to speak. So if you have to break the grid every once in a while to make something break for sense, then please do. Now, I may even reevaluate this, and I may put the Indianapolis, Indiana, and the date on its own line because this guy is a whopper. Alright. I'm not sure I really like what's going on with the line and going down to skills, so I might change that. But in the meantime, I will save it. And then I would move on to putting maybe some imagery into it. I might even put a soft background color back here. Make sure I'm on the background layer. Hit the W key. Hit the Command minus so I can get out of there a little bit. Put a big box. Go to swatches, stroke it with nothing, fill it with, I'm going to fill it with yellow. I know that is insane. Nothing like a mustard and ketchup resume, huh? Now, that background though, when I really bump it out back, to 10 or 20%, really soften that up. It'll be there we go. It's not going to be nearly as stark and crazy looking. Now, the only bad thing, or the only thing I just did that needs to be changed is in the background graphics area. I haven't talked about expanding a layer, but there's an arrow you can expand a layer, and I can pull that rectangle behind the the path. In fact, I'll even pull it behind the red rectangle. I could send it to the back as well. Okay. Still not real happy with, with what's going on with my directional. I don't want to get it away from some of that text. It's a little intrusive. A little bit goes a long way, in other words. Okay, so that's kind of how I lay out text, and rip it apart, and put it back together again, and play around with some graphics. If I did have a graphic to put in here, I would go to File and Place, just like we did on our previous project, and I could place graphics. But I don't really have any logo or any designs yet for the edges. I really think an infographic would be nice. But if you don't know what an infographic is, go to Google, do a search. It's pretty cool stuff, kind of specialized for area of design. I'm going to save this. And this is not finished, but it certainly is well on its way to becoming a little bit more visually interesting resume and not looking like a Microsoft Word template. Okay, so I've saved it, and I'm going to close out of this, and we will call it a day on this one. Well, till I get graphics.